Climbing a mountain for love. The music was loud, the room was crowded, and everyone was laughing. It was Mark's birthday party, and Lucas was standing in the corner, watching the party. He was a little bit shy, but he was also enjoying himself. Mark was a good friend, and Lucas was happy to be there. He had been feeling lonely lately, and he was hoping to meet some new people. Suddenly, a girl with bright eyes and a warm smile approached him. "Hi, I'm Charlene," she said. "It's nice to meet you. Mark told me you love hiking." Lucas smiled. "Yeah, I do. It's my favorite thing to do." "Me too," Charlene said excitedly. "I love exploring new places, especially mountains." "Have you ever climbed Mount Kilimanjaro?" Lucas's eyes widened. "No, but I've always wanted to." They talked for a long time, about hiking, about their jobs, and about their lives. Lucas learned that Charlene was a pharmacist, and that she lived with her mother in a small house on the outskirts of the city. He told her about his job as a graphic designer, and about his small apartment in the city center. As the party ended, they exchanged phone numbers. Lucas felt a surge of excitement. He had never felt so connected to someone so quickly. Days turned into weeks. Lucas and Charlene exchanged messages almost every day. They talked about everything, from their favorite hiking trails to their favorite books. They even shared pictures of their favorite hiking spots. One evening, Lucas sent a message to Charlene. "Hey, I was wondering if you would like to meet for coffee sometime." Charlene responded almost immediately. "I'd love to." The next week, they met at a cozy cafe near Lucas's apartment. Lucas arrived first, and he ordered a cappuccino. He was nervous, but he tried to relax. He looked around the cafe, taking in the warm atmosphere and the smell of coffee. Charlene arrived a few minutes later, her face lit up with a smile. "Hey, you," she said, sitting down across from him. "Hey," Lucas replied, his heart beating faster. They talked for hours, sharing stories and dreams. Lucas learned that Charlene loved to travel, and that she had always dreamed of visiting Africa. He told her about his own travel plans, and about his desire to see the world. As the afternoon progressed, the cafe began to empty. Lucas and Charlene left together, the conversation flowing naturally. "I had a really great time," Charlene said. "Me too," Lucas replied, his voice filled with warmth. "I'd love to see you again." "I'd like that," Charlene said, her eyes sparkling. They decided to meet again the following week, this time for a hike. Lucas was excited. He had never felt this way about anyone before. The next weekend, they met at the base of a mountain. Lucas had chosen a trail that was challenging but not too difficult. "Ready?" Lucas asked, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. "Ready," Charlene replied, her voice full of excitement. They started hiking, their conversation flowing as easily as the mountain air. They talked about their favorite hiking memories, and about their dreams for the future. As they reached the summit, they stopped to take in the breathtaking view. The world stretched out before them, a vast and beautiful tapestry of mountains, forests, and rivers. "This is amazing," Charlene whispered, her eyes filled with wonder. Lucas smiled. "It is, isn't it?" They stood there for a long time, simply enjoying the moment. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. "This is the perfect ending to a perfect day," Charlene said, turning to Lucas. "It is," Lucas agreed, his heart filled with joy. As they hiked back down the mountain, they talked about their dreams. Charlene told Lucas about her desire to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Lucas was immediately captivated. "That's incredible," he exclaimed. "I've always wanted to climb that mountain too." "Really?" Charlene asked, her eyes widening. "Yeah," Lucas said. "I think it would be amazing to do it together." Charlene smiled. "I think that would be amazing too." They started planning their trip. They researched flights, hostels, and hiking gear. They spent hours poring over maps and guidebooks. They were both excited, and a little bit nervous. 10 months later, saving all the money they could, they were finally on their way to Africa. They landed in Tanzania, and they were immediately struck by the beauty of the country. The air was warm and humid, and the landscape was a vibrant mix of green and brown. They spent a few days acclimatizing to the altitude, and then they started their climb. The journey was challenging, but they were determined to reach the summit. They hiked for hours each day, their bodies aching and their lungs burning. But they kept going, fueled by their shared dream. Finally, after days of hiking, they reached the summit. They stood at the top of Africa, looking out over the vast expanse of the continent. "We did it!" Charlene shouted, her voice filled with joy. Lucas smiled. "We did." They hugged each other tightly, their hearts overflowing with happiness. They had achieved their dream, and they had done it together. Their trip to Africa was the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. They continued to explore the world together, hiking mountains, exploring jungles, and discovering new cultures. They were two souls who had found their way to each other, united by their shared passion for adventure. And they knew that their journey together had only just begun.